Now, welcome to Entréepreneur, the cook show for entrepreneurs. And we are just about to discover the business structure of this young Nigerian entrepreneur whose name is Debo Odunlana. He is going to be cooking on Entréepreneur, but even more importantly, he's going to be sharing with us the details of his business and his journey as an entrepreneur. My name is Joyce. Welcome to the cook show for entrepreneurs, Entréepreneur.
Hello.
Hi.
Respect
What are
you.
you eating? Oh my dear, good to see you, my dear. Hello. Okay. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Debo Odunlana. I'm a medical doctor and management consultant in healthcare. I'm also the founder of Doctora. Today, I'm an entrepreneur. Today, Joyce has been nice enough to bring me some food. She brought some fish, apple fish, looks very interesting. However, we're not cooking fish today, so I'm just going to store this away.
Debo, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I mean, your kitchen looks very beautiful.
Thank you very much. Well,
I wanted to give people an idea as to how young you are. You're not yet 30.
yes, let's leave it like that.
Yeah.
Too much information is not good.
Yeah.
You just keep it. Give them something light.
This is something to look forward
light.
to.
Yeah.
Ponder about, wonder about. I'm even more curious as to your cooking. I've wondered about it. I've pondered about it. You've tasted my cooking.
Of course.
I throw it down.
You throw it down.
Today
Me
is
too,
your
I
turn.
throw it down.
Does it go down?
Wrestling throwing
Does it
down.
go down?
It goes down well. And it goes
Okay.
down in the kitchen.
So, I mean, like, it's certainly a pleasure being here. You ready to go?
So we're good and ready to go.
Ready to cook?
Yes, I'll just show you all the
So I'm going to
ingredients.
throw on
and-
you an apron, then you can start throwing it down.
Surely.
I think I came with an appetite.
It's enough
Yeah?
to go around. We could take away.
Debo.
Honestly. Shut up. Thank you. Tried. Even the things inside the oven too will feel that they've tried.
Okay,
So it's
baking
about time
time's up, yeah?
we kind of let them out.
Okay.
And then there's this steam,
Ooh.
nice and brown.
Oh, wow.
But not brown like brown. apart from the juice and the things.
So guess what? This is a winner
That's the winner, the body.
because the flavor from the chicken permeates it.
It's like
So
we
it
should
tastes
just
a
go
little
and soak the
more-
rest.
It tastes a little more than just plantain. You
Mm.
know? It's quite awakening in the palate.
And the chicken is
Wow.
very soft as well.
Yeah, it's quite tender, properly cooked. I'm loving. So this really is what we need to figure out on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh yeah.
The excellence of your labor,
Okay.
the brilliance of your work.
Okay.
To add
Feels like
spice
I'm on Project Fame.
to add spice into your entrepreneurial capabilities.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Our face is changing.
It's a pleasure meeting you.
Ah, yes, that's it.
You can cook.
We throw it down. We throw it down. So the advertisement is on. We're taking application. Huh?
Are you married?
We're taking applications.
Yeah, you know,
Just
I
send.
could
They
get-
can send the CV to you for vetting, and
Really though, to me for betting, you know,
at least you book service charge and all those
You
kind of
know,
things.
and a holiday after, because we'll be needing holidays and now and again.
Just kill it.
But this is so good. Yeah. So we already know, like, of course, healthy foods are essential to well-being in general. But as a doctor, do you have any addition, any specifics as to why you need to eat healthy, why it's necessary that you, as much as you can, try to push for the healthiest of options?
I think generally you are what you eat. So it's very important to actually watch it. Then generally my mindset was that if we can do recipes like this, like we're on a mission to do about 2,000 recipes, so that we can create meal plans that people can download and use to kind of track. Because typically your breakfast should be light, your lunch should be like
Heavy somewhat.
mid. Yeah, so if lunch is heavy, dinner should be light. It should be lighter and stuff
Okay.
like that. But ideally, it should be one heavy meal per day so that you reach your calorie goals of, I think, trying to be between 1,500 and 2,000 calories
Now,
per
you did
day.
mention to me earlier on about trying to have a nutritional blood, and you say that the objective of that is to have people come on that and just know what it is they can eat,
Yeah,
how to prepare it,
yeah,
the options that they have within that choice of food,
yeah.
and of course, eventually
The nutrition and
calorie-
information.
Yeah, you know,
Just including calories, iron. Like this is rich in iron because of spinach and the zucchini.
so what's driving you to do that? You're making that an additional service.
Yeah,
Doctora to the public.
because I feel like healthcare needs to be holistic.
Oh.
So we can't just focus on the clinical aspects of it. We need to look at the nutrition, we need to look at the fitness aspect and the mental health as well. So as Doctora, we're trying to create an avenue where we're empowering individuals to actually take, with the information actually, to take better care of themselves.
I see. So you're pretty much now trying to cover curative health. You're trying to deal with
Preventive health.
and also corrective.
Yes.
Oh, this is quite a big one that you're doing. I now want to just understand Doctora and her objectives from you, the founder of Doctora.
Okay, so our key goals revolve around trying to empower or enable, because I think empowerment has been overplayed, but enablement. So we're trying to enable at least 1,000 healthcare practitioners to set up their private practices under the Doctora umbrella. We're doing this because obviously it's difficult for healthcare professionals to build their practice, and then the return on investment, if they're going to go through the high setup cost, as we discussed earlier, is kind of really low. It's really low. Like in the first year, return, yeah. So it's really low. The costs are high, and it just deters a lot of people, and that's why people either leave the country or get stuck in the job they're not enjoying. Our hope is that once we create the platform, even it becomes a platform for investment as well, because you have cash, you want to buy an ultrasound scan, we show you data about the fact that we're doing 50 antenatal visits a week, for example. That means if you put in your ultrasound scan into the system, you earn money, just like what Uber does with the cars. So you earn money, and you're building, you're creating access, and it's a business opportunity for you. I feel people don't know that there's a lot of opportunities to invest in healthcare, and we can't just wait for the government to do everything. So those are the things we want to kind of focus on initially. But our end goal is to make Nigeria a hub for medical tourism. At least if we start with the countries in Africa, everybody's like, Nigerians are spending about 40 billion in India every year, naira, on medical tourism.
Okay, so for the end user, the consumer, the one who needs your services, and I'm talking right now, the patients, not the doctors now, how does Doctora work for them?
Okay, so like I said, I felt, well, it's still an hypothesis, but I feel that if we improve the experiences of the doctors and the working environments for them, then they're able to deliver better experiences for their patients, generally. But in terms of how the marketplace works, so really it is a marketplace. We're like Jumia for healthcare. We're also like Uber for healthcare. We're still like Airbnb for healthcare, but whatever.
But it's placing an order for your
Placing an order for your doctor, and then the doctor is actually delivering. And it isn't just doctors now, because we're doing the whole spectrum of health professionals. Sex counselors, mental health specialists, psychologists, fitness trainers, yoga instructors, whatever. But just that, connecting you to the right person or someone you feel you can work with, and giving you the choice. So typically what we have is an online platform. First we have our website, where you can get enough information, and then if you decide to sign up, which for now is free, you get onto the online platform, and you have access to choose a member of, and technically we advise people to actually choose a GP.
Okay.
So the GP is the first step. So you choose a GP and you add a GP to your care team. So I'll give an example of a diabetic. So a diabetic has added, say a 55-year-old lady, or maybe a 45-year-old diabetic has added a GP to his care team, and then for some reason the person requires a home nurse, so they can add that as well, and then the person requires a physiotherapist or a podiatrist, they add that. So their team kind of communicate. They have access to a shared record that belongs to the patient, not to the health professional. So the patient kind of is now in control and can schedule appointments. So from the web platform, you can click on, select a date, select the professional you need to see, schedule an appointment, make your payments. You could also have access to an online store, more like an e-commerce setup, where you can buy over-the-counter stuff, drugs, and you could also kind of renew your drug refills. So there's an element of overpricing in the Nigerian healthcare.
In the Nigerian society, the Nigerian economy.
Exactly. As far as healthcare, the Nigerian healthcare industry, there's a, especially when it comes to private healthcare.
I've seen that play out in pretty much on every facet, really, of the Nigerian economy.
So I feel like there's an opportunity there.
Okay.
That if we can democratize it, then prices come down. Competition will drive prices down.
What are your fears? Do you have a fear just being an entrepreneur in Nigeria, being in Nigeria? I mean, you chose to come back from your study in Dubai, from the Middle East, and just decide to be here, to remain.
And then I left to the UK and came back again.
Exactly. You left for the UK and you came back again. Do you feel something can change? Do you have any fears? Are there anything that impedes this vision that you have? And it could really just be silent fears of, can this work? Will it work?
I used to have the fears of, will it work? But I kept going because I really knew it could work. And then that has been validated. We haven't even started per se, but we have the largest private healthcare network in Nigeria. We have 8 centers under Doctora, which obviously doesn't all belong to Doctora, but we also have about 50 practitioners, and by the time we get to 100 practitioners or 1,000, which is our goal for the next year, I think we'll be solving part of the problem.
Okay, so real quick, vetting the doctors or the practitioners that come on Doctora, you pay a lot of attention to that.
Yes, that's very critical.
Yeah.
It's a critical success factor. We cannot overlook the fact that people actually just want good doctors.
Yeah.
Everyone is looking for a good doctor. It's just like looking for a carpenter. You don't just want a carpenter, you want a good carpenter. It's the same thing with a doctor. So we do a lot with regards to vetting. We check with the professional bodies to make sure that they are registered and their licenses are on. Then we take more steps by having a detailed chat with the doctor, trying to seek their passion, and then limit the onboarding. Realistically, with the demand, we should have onboarded close to 100 people, but we are just trying to make sure that we are getting the right people, not just anyone.
Now, making the medicine or the medical practice in Nigeria better. For me, I don't necessarily have any outright plan as to how it can be better, but I have a few ideas. I'm not necessarily about to share an idea with you as much as I'm about to ask you a question. The Nigerian universities or medical schools churn out graduates every year. Some of them actually have to maybe sideline or put away their degrees, their medical degrees, and go do something on the side. What do you think can be done? How can we put those brains to use? How can we educate them or keep them flowing within that system just so that there is some sort of continuity and maybe even the general widespread knowledge of medicine and healthcare? So that, if, for example, you were maybe an hour away from a doctor, there's somebody around that can just quickly save the moment before a doctor arrives. You know what I'm talking about? I just feel like a lot of the graduates that come out of Nigerian universities are not put to use, and for that reason, we'll either lose them through brain draining, or we just have them seeking means of survival. What do you think?
I think it's a multifactorial problem, honestly. But the center part of Doctora's marketing, because in healthcare you're kind of restricted, is to use education as a marketing tool. Can we just enlighten people and get them to know?
Doctora doing that?
Yes. So our entire marketing campaign is all about education. For example,
who are you educating? Like me, I'm not a medical.
The everyday person. For example, the meals, the recipes we're going to be creating are to enlighten everybody.
Okay, brilliant. But does Doctora put to use in any way fresh out of university or fresh out of medical school students? Do you have a plan for that? Do you eventually have a plan for that?
We can't exactly onboard because fresh out of medical students have to go do their internship, and then after the internship go for NYSC. So we're trying to plan a scheme for next year where doctors who have been operating their practices can now onboard, kind of get some sort of assistance, you understand, to build their practice. Because I can envisage the fact that we're at a point where doctors are struggling to get clients, and then when you have too many clients, you can't see them all, and you need a team. So I think that's the way to fit them in, and as well as they stand a chance of gaining experience under someone else who is more experienced till they get enough years to get on, because typically we do 3 years after NYSC as a minimum to get on the Doctora platform, because we feel that's enough for you to have gone around to gain enough experience.
Okay. Biggest fear?
Biggest fear?
Being an entrepreneur in Nigeria.
Being an entrepreneur in Nigeria.
So you have fears?
Everything is a
threat.
So police guy can not stop you on the road and collect some cash. That's not stuff. Really, being misunderstood, the political system, the paternalistic nature of healthcare, and the fact that we actually need to change a lot of mindsets, and change management is a big deal.
Yeah.
So we're taking one step at a time, and luckily I have very pragmatic team members and people who, unlike me, are not always so dreamy about an ideal world, and they are more realistic. So I think we kind of meet in between. To really be, I think there's that fear of failing,
Yeah.
but I think it's really, I think I have enough experience running startups or SMEs to be able to pull through, and mostly I have a strong network. But that said, it's still a very daunting task.
All right. If you had to get one thing in place to make your entrepreneurial dreams or ambitions go from one level to the other, what would it be? Money?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
I think that's just it. Because money would always come.
Yeah.
There's a philosophy that capital finds the businesses that need it,
Yeah.
not the other way around.
Not
And
the other way.
I see a lot of entrepreneurs going after
Money.
capital,
Yeah.
and it's like, if you don't have what you want to use money for, you're going to waste it. My point here is there are going to be ups and downs.
Before you got the
Something.
grant, it's been sole funded. You pretty much had
Yeah.
self-funded the entire Doctora idea from thought to
Myself
pretty
and
much
two of
where it is
the
right now.
co-founders, yeah.
So you and your co-founders co-sponsored the very concept
Yes.
of it, paid whatever cost was required to bring
Yeah.
it from an idea
Yeah.
to what it is right now.
Yeah. And like I was saying, if we had all the money at the beginning, because this is supposed to be like a 90 million naira type of project,
Yeah.
but we didn't wait to get 90 million naira
You
to
just
start
started
because
small.
we didn't need 90 million naira to start. We just needed enough money to get the concept going, and we set up 3 centers, and when people realized these guys are moving, they also started to affiliate, and then we got to 8 centers because 5 centers belong to individuals who were running their own private practice
Yeah.
and stuff. So I think so far so good.
Yeah.
We couldn't have fast-tracked any of this with money.
True.
We couldn't have. Because there was that learning curve. We had to take our time. We need
There
to
was time,
understand.
actually,
It's
yeah.
like people keep asking me, why is there no mobile app? I'm like, we don't even understand the consumer behavior. We don't know how they're going to use it yet.
And until you do, you don't
We
necessarily
don't need
a
it.
mobile app.
A simple web app, which is easy to modify, is good. We said that that's a good,
User-friendly.
user-friendly, good ease of use, useful. That
Detailed,
alone,
descriptive,
exactly. That alone is enough for us to gather enough data about consumer behavior
analyze your market
before we
you know
go
what
into
next to
into
do.
the mobile app development, which is a lot more rigid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else do you have going on as an entrepreneur? This is my final question because I need to eat my food. It's cold.
Yeah, it's getting cold, and you're sitting under the AC too.
What else do you have going on as an entrepreneur?
Well,
You're a doctor,
I'm a doctor.
medical practitioner.
I'm a management consultant in
Management
healthcare, so I
consultant.
typically help healthcare companies achieve their goals, solve problems. Also trying to, engaging with the Ejigbo local government area, trying to boost user experience and see how to really allocate resources within the local government as a test run to see whether I could
on
actually...
medical on healthcare.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So I'm working with a medical officer for health in that local government, and is a colleague of mine, and we're trying to see how to put the knowledge that we have to see how we can kind of create a case study for integrated care within the local government. Like, it's connected. There's a nurse who goes around to do vaccination. They're doing a lot of this stuff, but they are
Yeah.
really strained because of processes and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm a very process-oriented person.
Yeah.
And as a consultant, my strengths are performance improvement. So trying to see how to put that into the system and
Brilliant.
improve the system. Secondly, trying to see what to do with education, especially medical education, but
Yeah.
that's a completely different project. We're hoping to start to train doctors themselves, start to train this traditional vet attendants, so that the mortality and morbidity that results from their lack of knowledge can reduce.
Brilliant. I mean, thank you
Actually,
so
inadequate
much.
knowledge.
Thank you so much. Like, I've had such a brilliant time with you, watching you cook. Eventually, it was really worth my time because it tastes so fresh and so
Me too,
good.
I'm hungry.
I really, really appreciate your time. Thank you, Debo. Really, thank you, Debo. And you're a bright individual, And I really wish you the best. And thank you for being an entrepreneur.
Thank you very much. And now I have to go and find the food on the tray and put it and pre-know it.
Can I get a doctor to come see me in my house? My back hurts.
Yes. So there are home visits, there are video calls, there are phone calls, and there are clinic visits. So
Doctora.com.
you have a lot of choice on Doctora.com.
Thank you, guys. My name is Joyce. Bless your hearts. And keep your eyes on this space. Entrepreneur will be back again next week. Bye-bye.